Having Jupiter in Pisces in the first house signifies a powerful presence filled with compassion, intuition, and optimism. This person is likely to express themselves in a creative way with strong spiritual undertones and values. They might be extremely sensitive to their surroundings and could have a deep urge to uplift those around them. These individuals are often seen as generous, understanding, and inspiring. However, they might struggle with setting boundaries due to their high empathy levels, which could lead to emotional exhaustion. They might also have unrealistic expectations and a tendency to escape reality, which can lead to disappointments. In relationships, these individuals are often attracted to partners who mirror their own deep need for emotional understanding and spiritual connection. They make supportive partners, often providing wise advice and a calming presence. Yet, their struggles can come from a need for validation and fear of abandonment, which can lead to codependency. On the career front, positions that allow them to use their creativity and intuitive ability would be a strong fit. Careers in arts, healing, counseling, or non-profit sectors could be appealing. However, they should beware of falling into a savior complex. Strengths related to this placement include a compassionate and charismatic personality, wisdom beyond their years, and a vast inner world. Challenges include a sensitivity to negativity, difficulty setting boundaries, and unrealistic expectations. Personal growth can be found in learning to balance their need to help others with self-care. Likewise, they can grow by realizing their value without the need for outside validation. Finally, embracing their intuitive abilities can aid in their personal and career development. Having Jupiter in Pisces in the second house suggests a personality that is warm, generous, and spiritual. This person is likely to be instinctive, intuitive, and have a strong sense of empathy for others. The tendency towards being a dreamer and idealist can sometimes make them unrealistic or impractical. Their belief in the goodness of others may sometimes lead to disappointment or being taken advantage of. In terms of relationships, this placement emphasizes compassion, understanding, and emotional depth. They are often drawn to partners who are spiritual or creative. There can be a challenge with setting boundaries, as they want to give and help, often to their own detriment. Career-wise, they would do well in professions that allow for self-expression and helping others. This could be in the arts, counseling, or humanitarian work. They are likely to have an approach to money that is generous but also somewhat idealistic, which can present financial stability challenges. Strengths of this placement include empathy, creativity, and intuition. These people often have a deep sense of the interconnectedness of all living beings and could be greatly fulfilled by activities that reflect this understanding. Challenges may include issues with practicality, a tendency towards escapism, or being overly self-sacrificial. The key lesson for personal growth is learning to balance their lofty ideals with the reality of daily life. It's essential to understand that helping others doesn't mean neglecting oneself. This requires both emotional intelligence and pragmatism. A person with Jupiter in Pisces in the third house tends to be an excellent communicator, using intuition and empathy to connect with others. They likely exhibit a compassionate and sympathetic nature, often using words to heal or inspire. These individuals may possess a vivid imagination and dreamlike quality, which lends creativity to their way of thinking. In terms of relationships, they typically gravitate towards people who value deep, meaningful conversations. They might feel a strong sense of responsibility to alleviate others' suffering, leading to potentially codependent dynamics if not kept in check. For career influences, this placement may excel in fields such as writing, counseling, teaching, or any role involving communication with a spiritual or therapeutic undertone. Strengths associated with this placement include a rich imagination, strong communication skills, and a compassionate nature. These individuals may also have an inherent ability to understand other people's emotions intuitively, making them great confidants and counselors. However, challenges may include a tendency to escape into daydreams or fantasies when life gets tough. They might struggle with setting appropriate boundaries, especially when it comes to emotional or communicative responsibilities. Personal growth lessons for this placement revolve around finding a balance between compassion and self-care. These individuals might need to learn that it's alright to focus on their needs, even if it means temporarily stepping back from helping others. They may also benefit from grounding themselves to reality, allowing it to color their dreams rather than hiding in imagined worlds. Having Jupiter in Pisces in the 4th house indicates a strong internal world. It suggests a compassionate, emotional, and intuitive individual with a love for peace and harmony. This placement often depicts a spiritual person who gains wisdom through introspection and emotional experiences. In relationships, this individual is likely to be nurturing and supportive, drawn to partnerships that provide emotional depth and intimacy. This person is understanding and enjoys creating a stable, loving environment for loved ones. However, they may struggle with setting boundaries, taking on others' problems, or trying to save people from themselves. In terms of career, they're likely to excel in roles that allow for intuitive or creative expression, like counseling, art, or spiritual work. They may be drawn to professions where they can use their innate sense of empathy and understanding, nurturing others, and providing a safe haven. One of the main strengths of this placement is the person's ability to emotionally connect with others and their environment on a deep level. Meanwhile, the challenge might lie in their tendency to escape reality or absorb too much negative energy from surroundings. In terms of personal growth, these individuals need to learn to balance their heavy emotional load, not letting it overwhelm them. Learning to set emotional boundaries is crucial. They may also need to find ways to ground their abundant spiritual and emotional energy. By focusing on creating a healthy emotional and domestic life, they are likely to unlock the true potential of their Jupiter in Pisces in the 4th house placement. Jupiter in Pisces in the 5th house indicates a person who is profoundly imaginative and intuitive. They have a strong inclination towards creative self-expression and could be naturally talented in the arts. This placement suggests potential career influences predominantly in creative fields, healing professions, or even spiritual leadership. In relationships, these individuals are romantic, sensitive, and generous. They seek deep spiritual connections with their partners. However, their idealistic and dreamy nature may lead to unrealistic expectations and disappointments. Strengths associated with this placement include optimism, compassion, and a robust imagination. These individuals are naturally intuitive, making them excellent at perceiving others' emotions. They have a strong sense of faith and a knack for finding hope in difficult circumstances. Challenges for this placement may revolve around over-idealization and escapism. They might struggle with setting boundaries and may swing between intense involvement to complete detachment in relationships. They are prone to exaggeration, which can lead to relationship issues. Personal growth lessons include learning to balance their emotions and the ability to discern fantasy from reality. Identifying and working on the tendency to retreat from reality during challenging times can lead to substantial personal growth. Developing a balanced view of relationships and learning to handle disappointments effectively can enhance personal development as well. With Jupiter in Pisces in the 6th house, the individual is likely to be compassionate, generous, and deeply intuitive. They easily sense the needs of others and have a strong desire to help. Their sensitivity may lead them to take on more responsibilities than they should, sometimes to their own detriment. In relationships, this placement often leads to nurturing and supportive behavior. They are drawn to partners who appreciate their compassionate soul and do not take advantage of their giving nature. However, the challenge lies in not losing their identity in their relationships without disregarding others' needs. Career-wise, the presence of Jupiter in the 6th house might direct the individual toward service-oriented professions such as healthcare, teaching, or social work. Their empathy and generosity can contribute greatly to these fields. But, they need to ensure to place boundaries and avoid overworking themselves. The strength of this placement lies in the individual's ability to care for and understand others. These qualities make them beloved by many. Their challenges include setting limits, taking care of their well-being, and dealing with strong emotional currents that might overwhelm them. A significant personal growth lesson for these individuals is learning to balance their own needs with those of others. They need to realize that it's okay to ask for help and not always be the one giving. Equally important is the cultivation of realism to complement their idealism. Whether dealing with relationships or career matters, they must learn not to idealize scenarios or people beyond reality. Simultaneously, they need to embrace their exceptional emotional sensitivity and use it as a guiding light, without it taking control of their well-being. Their journey is about balancing compassion with personal boundaries, idealism with realism, and sensitivity with strength. Having Jupiter in Pisces in the 7th house suggests a naturally empathetic and intuitive individual. As Jupiter symbolizes expansion and growth, this placement can indicate a strong spiritual inclination, a rich imagination, and a deep sense of compassion. They often thrive in situations that require understanding and healing. In terms of relationships, this placement encourages harmony and connection. These individuals are often deeply involved in their relationships and true partners in every sense. They may be attracted to people who are different from them in some way, finding joy in learning from these differences. Regarding potential career influences, areas that involve service to others, such as counseling, healing, or work in nonprofit organizations could be greatly beneficial. They may also do well in creative or spiritual professions, given their intuitive nature and imaginative abilities. Associated strengths with this placement include spiritual growth, compassion, and a strong sense of partnership. However, they may face challenges related to over-idealizing people or situations, or becoming overly dependent on their partners. They might need to learn to maintain their own independence in relationships. A personal growth lesson for these individuals might be learning to set appropriate boundaries and express their needs effectively in relationships. Another important lesson could be understanding that it's okay to put themselves first sometimes, even when they want to help others. Overall, having Jupiter in Pisces in the 7th house can lead to a life filled with deep connections, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition. Jupiter in Pisces in the 8th house points towards a deeply spiritual and intuitive individual. Their core personality traits include immense emotional depth, generosity, and a strong inclination towards metaphysical realms. This position suggests a natural gift for understanding life's mysteries. In relationships, they may attract partners with complexities and deep-seated issues due to their instinctive ability to heal and nurture. Their understanding and compassionate approach make them excellent sources of emotional support. Potential career influences signal a knack for professions involving psychology, finance, spiritual healing, or anything that allows exploring mysteries and secrets. Jupiter's expansive nature combined with Pisces' connection to the subconscious possibly elevates their financial fortunes, especially through inheritances, joint resources, or unexpected gains. Strengths associated include strong intuition, empathy, personal resilience, and ability to transform chaos into growth. However, the challenges involve an overemphasis on others' emotional needs, susceptibility to manipulation due to their giving nature, and a tendency to avoid harsh realities. Personal growth lessons revolve around setting emotional boundaries and understanding that not everything hidden needs to be unveiled. They must learn that enduring chaos is not a prerequisite for personal transformation and growth, and that they have a right to happiness and peace. Overall, individuals with this placement are here to learn about life's deeper truths and aid others in their existential journey. Having Jupiter in Pisces in the 9th house signifies someone who is naturally compassionate and spiritually inclined. They are often deeply philosophical and continually quest for deeper meaning in life. They are imaginative and dreamy, and find joy in exploring the mysteries of the universe. In terms of relationships, these individuals are empathetic, gentle, and kind. They are drawn to people who share their spiritual and philosophical interests. They might be forgiving to a fault as their strong sense of compassion may sometimes cloud their judgment. Career-wise, Jupiter in Pisces in the 9th house can benefit education, law, philosophy, or anything that has a spiritual or idealistic angle. They might be drawn to professions that allow them to expand their worldview, be it through physical travel or intellectual exploration. Expansive and optimistic Jupiter could also bring luck and opportunities in these areas. The strengths associated with this placement are compassion, adaptability, and the desire to grow and learn. They are generous and spiritual, with a natural thirst for knowledge. However, challenges can involve confusion, escapism, and over-idealism. Their compassion may make them vulnerable to being taken advantage of or overlooking red flags in situations and relationships. A critical personal growth lesson for Jupiter in Pisces in the 9th house is to ground their lofty ideals in reality. They need to learn to balance their spiritual and philosophical pursuits with practicality. They may also need to learn to set healthy boundaries in relationships while maintaining their compassionate nature. Despite these challenges, they have the potential for deep spiritual growth and fulfilling exploration of life's mysteries. Individuals with Jupiter in Pisces in the 10th house are often selfless, intuitive, and compassionate. They have a strong desire to help others and can excel in careers related to healthcare, social work, the arts, or spirituality due to their empathy and creativity. They typically have a strong sense of faith and can inspire others, boosting morale in their workplace. In relationships, they tend to be loving, caring, and understanding. Their sensitive and intuitive nature makes them responsive to their partner's needs. They can sometimes put others' needs before their own, which is a testament to their loving nature, but may also become a challenge. Strengths of this placement include compassion, creativity, intuition, and a positive outlook on life. These individuals have an innate ability to understand others' emotions and situations, making them excellent in roles requiring empathy. Challenges can stem from being overly emotional or idealistic, which could cause them to overlook details or face disappointment when reality doesn't meet their expectations. Over time, they may also become drained from constantly taking on other people's burdens due to their empathetic nature. Personal growth lessons include learning to balance their desire to help others with their need for self-care. They may need to learn the importance of setting boundaries and realizing that it's okay to pursue personal interests and dreams alongside their inclination to serve others. As they navigate through these lessons, they'll discover a more rounded, fulfilling way to live and relate with others. Someone with Jupiter in Pisces in the 11th house is likely to possess a good-natured personality. They are imaginative, compassionate, and idealistic. They have a strong desire for a peaceful world and strive to help others. The 11th house is about community, making these individuals naturally drawn to charitable and humanitarian causes. They engage very deeply with their friends and social circles. However, they tend to blend in rather than stand out. In relationships, these individuals are tolerant, forgiving, and supportive. They are great listeners with a unique ability to understand others on a deeper level. However, they need to be careful not to become too dependent on relationships for their happiness, to avoid being taken advantage of. Career-wise, this placement favors occupations involving care or service towards others. They may find success in fields like healthcare, social work, or creative arts. Their inherent intuition and empathy, coupled with idealism, tend to make them stand out. Strengths include deep compassion, creativity, intuition, and a strong sense of community. The challenges are potential overdependence on others and vulnerability to deception. They also might struggle with defining boundaries. The personal growth lessons for someone with Jupiter in Pisces in the 11th house might involve learning to assert their individuality more and to set personal boundaries. They should use their intuition and idealism as strengths, but also remember to prioritize themselves sometimes. Jupiter in Pisces in the 12th house suggests an individual who is compassionate, intuitive, and deeply spiritual. They excel at understanding others' emotions and often feel a strong connection to a higher power. Their innate empathy makes them good listeners and they are drawn to helping people, being altruistic and generous. They may even experience psychic or intuitive occurrences. On the personal relationship front, they are deeply committed, often going out of their way to make their loved ones feel special and understood. This trait, however, can lead them to be overly dependent or submissive in relationships, sometimes sacrificing their own needs for others. Being a good listener and empathy, they could potentially have attractive quality among their peers. Potential career paths for these individuals lean towards helping or healing roles. They may excel as counselors, therapists, or in any profession where they can offer guidance and help. Their spiritual side may draw them towards religious or philosophical pursuits. Nevertheless, they face challenges due to their high sensitivity, leading to periods of introspection or even isolation. Learning to balance their own needs with those of others can be a significant growth lesson. They also need to remember to ground their big dreams and visions in reality. Despite these challenges, their placement is a strength as their empathy and intuitiveness can help them connect deeply with others. Finally, by learning to balance their own needs while helping others, they can grow to become healers within their communities.